Yes, indeed. Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. You are watching Open, and I thank you and appreciate you so much. Our next guest is a jazz musician and trumpeter. He is the founder and former member of the multi-Grammy Award-winning group Atlantic Starr. He joins us to speak about his release of his new label and his latest album, too, Afro-Cafe. You don't want to miss it. It's here. We got that and a whole lot more. So please welcome to the show, Duke Jones. Duke is in the house.
Hi, everybody. All right.
Duke, now the last time I saw you, we were doing something together. Well, maybe that's not the last time, but we were doing something at the club in Mount Vernon.
Yes, Bassline. Yes, club.
Yes. And that club ran for some time, right?
Oh, yeah, several years. Had a lot of great artists came through and performed during that time, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're the trumpeter. You're doing your thing with Atlantic Starr, but you have a little history. You did some things before that too, right?
Yes. With Atlantic Starr, there was also a group called New Band, which was the original Atlantic Starr, which we did two albums on called New Band BBE Music London, and those records are kind of cult classics in England now, by the way. And then we became Atlantic Starr, and then from there I worked with Norman Connors for many years, which had Phyllis Hyman in the band, and then Pharoah Sanders for a little while.
Wow.
And then we went with the Temptations. I did a couple tours with them in Japan, and then Kid Creole and the Coconuts after that for several years.
Wow. And I remember we did a tour over in Brazil, and I was on my way back, and I saw you and Norman Connors. I said, "Hey man, where y'all coming from?" "Well, we come from Brazil too, because you were at the airport."
Yeah, we were producing.
Did a South American tour or something like that.
Yeah, we were producing artists down there in the studios, the Brazilian artists, and mixing them with American artists and making like a fusion of music between both cultures.
Yeah, I ran into some really, really nice drummers, and I think it's Salvador Bahia.
Yeah, Salvador, yes.
Yeah. Oh, really, really nice. So you blended some of that stuff into your music too.
Yeah, we made a really nice fusion between American R&B and jazz and Brazilian music, and it'll be coming out probably this summer, called Soul of Brazil.
What can you tell us about this new label that you're working with right about now?
Well, basically, it's I've encompassed several styles of music, which normally, other than big companies, they don't do that. But I had to do it because I knew so many great people with great records. One is a rock group called NU80s, 80s retro rock out of Indianapolis, Indiana. The lead singer is a guy named Paul Souza, who's a great singer, and it's a great group, and I expect big things out of them. And Paul was actually number 3 high jumper in the world in the Olympics and whatnot, so he's kind of got an athlete thing going with it. And then we also have a record by a pianist from Boston, Hayrim Joan, who is a professor at Berklee School of Music in Boston teaching piano. And her record's currently like 19 in the charts, Billboard Jazz charts right now. And then we have the Afro-Cafe record, which I did. It's a combination of songs that I did from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, like 2 songs from each era. And some songs are Atlantic Starr, some songs are stuff that I did with Norman Connors. But it's got a great mixture, and there's some African musicians on there. And also coming in this single from Andre LaFell, My Lady, which is a great hip hop single, which will be out. Also, Melanie Andrews is from Los Angeles, a great vocalist who wrote 2 songs on Janet Jackson's Control record, and good friends with Janet Jackson. Her record is really nice. And, all these records are being promoted over the course of the year.
Wow. You've got a serious track record right there now, So tell us about the new album, Afro-Cafe.
Yeah, Afro-Cafe is a compilation of songs I did in different eras. Like is two songs from the 1970s, which features vocalist Porter Carroll, who now sings with Hall and Oates band all the time. And then there's two songs from the 80s that tracks that I had that I've done that weren't released. Some were released, weren't released. And so, and two from the 90s and two from 2000s. And I have some African musicians on there. Azuhini Adu, who's from Senegal, pianist, and Jojo Nyaku is a drummer from Senegal, and they were with Mandu Dubongo and Papa Wimba, and for many years, and so they're now living in New York. So we did something in the studio, very free, very impromptu, and I really like how he came out. It was very mystical with songs and really different.
Yeah. And of course, you've worked with so many wonderful artists. What stands out in your mind? As far as people want to know how different artists are. I know I've run across so many. Some of them are really, really nice, and you have one or two that are like, what? They don't remember or realize who got them where they are today.
Well, there's definitely some of that. And then there's all types of, when I've seen, like with Pharoah Sanders, I learned that when his personality is that he would play avant-garde jazz. A lot of people didn't necessarily understand it, but he had an attitude. If you don't like it, the heck with you, and just give me my $30,000 for the night, and I'll see you later. And that attitude, people loved. The audience went crazy because he had that attitude where he didn't care if you didn't like it or not. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get a black man playing free, and I don't care if you like it or not. So that was one thing. And then when working with Key Creole, seeing his intellectual approach, having a master's degree in English, being an English teacher from the Bronx, his lyrics are very high level English, and seeing him do that, and sophisticated audience understand it. He had a very sophisticated crowd because of that. Because of the language. And then working with Norman Connors, with Phyllis Hyman in the band, I mean, that voice was unbelievable. I mean, you could sit there and it would just rip right through your insides when she started singing. That's how strong and beautiful it was.
Yeah. Norman Connors was kind of a mellow type of guy, right?
Yeah, very, very laid back, and very, kind of a quiet guy, but he was very intense about what he's listening to and what he wants from the music. Yeah.
And Phyllis Hyman, boy, she was like a beautiful person. I remember she picked up Vaughn. She was strong. She picked up Vaughn Harper on stage. We were in concert together. We were both hosting the show. She picked this big man up and said, and the crowd said, "Oh!" She was a strong person. Strong vocals, strong voice. Everything.
Strong voice. Yeah, she was something else. I remember one time when we was in D.C., we were playing at the Carter Barron, and it was an outdoor concert. And when we were leaving, the bus was ready to go. And I was talking to some girl, and I was getting a little romance happening. She got off the bus, said, "Get your butt on this bus. Let's get out of here."
Enough of this crap. We know what it is.
Right. I'll never forget that,
Yeah. Any advice for artists who are aspiring artists who want to be like you or want to know more about this business?
Yeah. My main advice is to people who want to do things in music is to maintain ownership of your masters. And try to get the money yourself to make your records and maintain your ownership. And if you can, if you're a writer, publishing, but maintain the ownership of your masters. And then when people want to do things, record companies, whoever, just license for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. Don't sell it, because once you do that, you'll never see those records again, at least not for 20, 30 years. Yeah. And your kids will be seeing the records in the store and then I get no money from them.
Yeah. So, but say that. I mean, you always get money from the residual payments.
Yeah, you get money from royalties, but if you don't own the masters, the main money you don't get.
Yeah.
And you get these compilations that come out and people repackaging stuff, and you say, wait a minute, I didn't get a check for that. It's out again on RCA, or it's out again on this label, and I never got paid anything because you don't own the masters.
You own most of yours.
I own all my masters.
Yeah. So when somebody puts something out, you get paid for that too.
Yes. Yeah. I suffered a lot because of that. I didn't get the big money that I could have gotten at times, but I maintained ownership. So now I could sell it over and over again, remix,
Yeah.
repackage, just the same thing they do when they put out the best of and the this and the that, you know.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Is there any one or two pieces that people sampled the most from your?
Um, well, the Atlantic Star stuff for sure. That's a ton of stuff, and then even some of the Aquarian Dream stuff I did years ago.
Yeah.
That's been sampled a lot. I don't know about the new band, but I know it's prominent in England, and I've gone places even in Brazil, and people come up to me and ask me about that record.
Yeah.
Uh, but definitely Atlantic Star.
So what's coming up? Any tours that we should know about? Because we got to get out there and find out where you're playing.
Well, lately
Whether
I've been doing some things with this wellness group called OneFirelight.com, and I've been doing like shows with them. It's like yoga, fitness, and wellness, and with the what's his name, one of the Marley sons, grandsons
oh
actually,
yeah.
is the spokesperson for it, and Skip Marley, and they're doing different things in New York, Jamaica, and it's really a great app. And it's like I'm doing all the music for it. Not all of it. They're using Bob Marley's music, but when they don't, they're using stuff that I've written.
Right. Right.
And
Beautiful.
they're on all the websites, onefirelight.com. Yeah.
Great. So when can we see you live?
Well, the next thing is with Norman Connors in New Jersey, coming up in February.
Uh-huh.
And then been the Keystone Corner in Baltimore with him in March.
Well, let us know so we can come out there and be a part of it.
Oh, definitely,
In the
definitely.
audience, hey, yeah.
Yeah. And I plan to do a showcase at some point with the people on the label, maybe at the Cutting Room in New York City. I'm looking at that, maybe a 1 or 2 night, just all the acts go on and really make it a special evening.
That's beautiful. So it's Bassline Live.
Yes. BASSLINE BasslineLive.com.
And social.
It's on Facebook. It is the Duke Jones official fan page.
Man, we appreciate you, man. You know that.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for all
man.
that you do. Thank you for your contribution, to the world with all your great talent and everything. And we're looking forward to seeing you out live in public. And good luck
Yeah,
with your new piece there, the Jazz Cafe.
yeah, definitely. So, and maybe you can MC the show in New York.
Let me know.
Yeah, Bouillon
Shout
Foundation,
out to you.
Miss Sandra DeCosta has been instrumental in everything.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us, and you're welcome. You're always welcome back.
Okay, you take
Tell,
care.
tell Norman and everybody I said hello.
I will.
All right. All right. We'll take a quick break right here. Of course, that's Duke Jones, jazz musician, trumpeter. Yeah, got that the new one out there, Afro-Cafe. So look out for that. Go to this website. We'll take a quick break right here. We'll come back and give you more next.